Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. Under the bright lights of FedEx Field, amid the chants of hopeful fans and the anxious hum of a rebuilding franchise, one unexpected name has started to rise above the noise: Jakori Merritt. A seventh-round pick out of Arizona, a player who came into the league with almost no fanfare, no fancy headlines, no can't-miss labels attached to his name. And yet, 6 weeks into the NFL season, he's become one of the most talked-about rookies in Washington. For the Commanders, who have been desperately searching for fresh energy, a spark, a sense of identity in this new era, Merritt has become that and more. He's not just producing yards and touchdowns. He's rewriting what it means to seize an opportunity. There's something different about the way he runs. You can see it from the first step, the way he plants his foot, lowers his shoulder, and turns a routine handoff into a statement of intent. Every carry feels personal, like he's trying to prove something not only to the league, but to the world that overlooked him. When you watch Merritt hit the line, you see hunger. Not the kind that fades when success starts to arrive, but the kind that burns deeper with every yard gained. He's not just playing football, he's chasing redemption. After missing his senior year, after being doubted at every level, he's out there showing that resilience can't be measured in combined stats or draft projections. It's something built in the dark when no one's watching. Commanders offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, who's seen his fair share of young talents, couldn't hide his excitement when asked about what makes Merritt so special. "I think the work ethic first and foremost," Kingsbury said, his tone somewhere between admiration and disbelief. "He doesn't make the same mistake twice. Throughout camp, when he touched the ball, good things happened." And that right there might be the simplest way to describe Jakori Merritt. Good things happen when he touches the ball. There's no overcomplication, no need for analytics or advanced metrics to understand it. He's just one of those players who changes the energy of the field the moment he steps on it. Through 6 weeks, the numbers are starting to catch up to the hype. 43 carries, 283 yards, and 4 touchdowns. For a rookie who wasn't even expected to see significant touches this early in the season, that's remarkable. But numbers alone don't capture what he's brought to this Commanders team. It's the confidence he's injected into the offense. The way he finishes runs, dragging defenders, refusing to go down on first contact. It's infectious. You can feel it in the huddle, in the way the offensive line blocks a little harder, how quarterback JAYDEN looks a little more comfortable knowing he's got a reliable weapon in the backfield. Kingsbury pointed out something else that speaks volumes about Merritt's mindset. "He just always wants more," the coordinator said. "He'd hop in. If we're not careful, we'd look out and he'd be out there with the ones from day one." He believes in himself, high confidence level, but he just has a big chip on his shoulder. That phrase, "a big chip on his shoulder," might as well be the title of Merritt's story so far. It's that chip that fuels him, that keeps him grounded and hungry even as the attention starts to build. It's what drives him to be the first one in the weight room and the last one off the practice field. For a rookie running back, especially one drafted so late, confidence is everything. You come into a locker room full of stars and veterans, and the margin for error is razor thin. But Merritt doesn't carry himself like a seventh-round pick. He moves with the self-assurance of someone who knows he belongs, who's been waiting for this moment his entire life. That kind of confidence doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from preparation. From all the times he had to work twice as hard just to get noticed, from all the doors that were closed in his face until he kicked one down. And while the Commanders' season has had its ups and downs, Merritt's rise has been one of the most consistent storylines. He's given fans something real to root for, a player who represents the grind, the fight, the perseverance that Washington football has always claimed to stand for. When he takes the field against the Chicago Bears this week, there's no doubt the spotlight will be a little brighter, the expectations a little higher. But if the first 6 weeks have taught us anything, it's that this kid doesn't shrink under pressure. He thrives in it. It's not just the coaching staff that's taken notice. Teammates have started to rally around him too. Veteran linemen have praised his patience behind the line, his vision to find the gaps, and his fearlessness to lower his pads and take the hit. JAYDEN Daniels, still adapting to the rhythm of the NFL and recovering from his knee sprain, has found in Jakori Merritt a steadying presence. In a league where young quarterbacks often crumble without a reliable ground game, Jakori Merritt's emergence might just be the safety net Daniels needs to grow into his role. It's one of those subtle dynamics that can completely change the direction of a franchise. And let's not ignore the mental toughness. Football at this level isn't just physical. It's emotional, psychological, relentless. For every big play on Sunday, there are countless hours of studying, of learning blocking schemes, of understanding protections and routes. Kingsbury hinted that Jakori Merritt still has room to grow away from the ball, which is fair for any rookie. But even that critique came laced with optimism. Because what separates Jakori from so many other young backs is how fast he learns, how quickly he adapts. Mistakes aren't failures for him, they're fuel. Every misstep becomes another reason to come back stronger. In an era where so many young players enter the league expecting instant stardom, Jakori Merritt's humility stands out. He's not chasing headlines. He's chasing respect, the kind you earn the hard way, through consistency and grit. That's why fans are starting to connect with him. It's not just his numbers, it's his story. He's the underdog who refused to stay down. The guy who didn't get the perfect college career, who didn't have agents fighting for his draft stock, who simply showed up and outworked everyone else. And when players like that start to shine, it's impossible not to root for them. When Kingsbury talks about constant improvement, he's describing something that's hard to teach, the internal drive to evolve. It's easy to get complacent once you've made it to the NFL, but Jakori Merritt seems wired differently. Every week, he's sharper. Every carry looks more decisive. Every post-game interview shows a maturity beyond his years. And maybe that's what makes him special. He's not satisfied. He's grateful, yes, but never content. The hunger that got him here is the same hunger that's going to keep him climbing. The Commanders, for their part, might have found a gem they didn't even know they had. In a season that's already had its fair share of adversity, injuries, inconsistency, and the usual growing pains of a young offense, Jakori Merritt has been a beacon of stability. His rise also gives Washington something invaluable: flexibility. A reliable ground game opens up play-action opportunities, helps control the clock, and eases the burden on a young quarterback. It's football fundamentals, but when you execute them well, they change everything. So when fans tune in for that Thursday night showdown against the Bears, they'll be watching more than just another game. They'll be watching a story in motion, a rookie turning potential into production, turning faith into fact. Whether it's breaking through arm tackles, bouncing runs to the outside, or just fighting for those tough extra yards, every play is another chapter in a journey that's only beginning. And if he keeps running like this, if he keeps playing with this level of passion and precision, the name Jakori Merritt won't just be a pleasant surprise. It'll be a cornerstone of the Commanders' future. Because sometimes, greatness doesn't announce itself with headlines or draft day hype. Sometimes, it comes quietly, in the form of a seventh-round pick who refuses to be ordinary, who shows up every day ready to prove that the odds mean nothing to those who believe. That's Jakori Merritt. That's what makes him special. And if this is just the beginning, Washington fans better get ready, because the best stories are the ones that no one sees coming, until they do. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. In a shocking turn of events that has left the NFL world buzzing, Arizona Cardinals quarterback JAYDEN Daniels did not hold back in addressing the team's struggles, directly calling out defensive coordinator Dan Quinn in a way that has sent shockwaves through the locker room and beyond. According to insiders, Daniels, known for his poise and leadership on the field, has reached a breaking point, publicly admitting that the team has been playing with fear, a statement that has immediately ignited debates across social media, sports talk shows, and fan forums. "We've been playing with fear," Daniels reportedly said, his voice dripping with frustration and determination. "That is unacceptable. We should be out there playing confident, aggressive football. Every snap should be an opportunity, not something we're scared of." The intensity behind his words suggests a quarterback who is not only tired of excuses, but also ready to force accountability at the highest levels. Sources indicate that Daniels' comments came during a closed team meeting after yet another disappointing defensive performance. one that left fans questioning whether the Cardinals' defensive scheme is fundamentally flawed under Quinn's leadership. Daniels' public stance is not just a reflection of frustration. It seems to be a calculated effort to shake things up from within. For months, rumors have circulated about tensions between the quarterback and Quinn, with insiders hinting at disagreements over defensive play calling, player assignments, and the overall strategy that has consistently left Arizona vulnerable to big plays. What makes this situation particularly explosive is the directness of Daniels' language. To accuse a seasoned defensive coordinator of creating a culture of fear is no small matter in the NFL, where hierarchy and chain of command are deeply ingrained. By saying the team is playing with fear, Daniels is essentially challenging the very foundation of Quinn's defensive philosophy, implying that it stifles the players' instincts rather than enhancing them. The ripple effect of this statement cannot be overstated. Coaches, players, and analysts alike are now speculating whether this could mark the beginning of a major internal shakeup, potentially putting Quinn's job in jeopardy if results do not quickly improve. Fans have been quick to take sides, with some praising Daniels for his bravery and leadership, while others question whether publicly criticizing a coach could backfire. Social media has erupted with hashtags like #JAYDEN and #FireQuinn trending for days, fueling the narrative that this could be the tipping point for the Cardinals' season. Analysts are dissecting every word, highlighting that Daniels' criticism goes beyond a simple gripe. It is a candid acknowledgement that fear, not preparation, has been dictating the team's approach. When your quarterback feels he cannot play freely, it's a sign something is broken. One former NFL coach commented off the record, "Quarterbacks need confidence from their system, from their coaches, from their teammates." Fear is poison in that equation, and if Daniels feels it, the whole team is feeling it. Insiders close to the Cardinals' locker room described Daniels' demeanor as unusually intense in recent weeks. Reports suggest that in practice sessions, he has been vocal about demanding faster decision-making, sharper reads, and more aggressive execution. Several teammates are said to be rallying behind him, impressed by his willingness to call out the elephant in the room. Yet, not everyone is fully on board. There are whispers that some veteran defenders feel exposed or unfairly targeted by the quarterback's comments, creating a delicate balance of support and tension within the team. What makes this story so captivating for the wider audience is the rare glimpse it offers into the internal dynamics of a franchise that has struggled to find cohesion. Daniels, often praised for his intelligence and calm under pressure, is showing a side rarely seen on public platforms: fiery, unapologetic, and deeply invested in changing the culture from the inside out. The timing of Daniels' remarks could not be more dramatic. The Cardinals have been mired in inconsistency, with flashes of brilliance overshadowed by lapses that have cost them critical games. While the offense has occasionally shown promise under Daniels' leadership, the defensive shortcomings have been glaring, often leaving him exposed and forcing the team into high-pressure situations that seem almost unmanageable. Analysts are now questioning whether Quinn's defensive schemes are adaptable enough to match the quarterback's vision or whether the Cardinals are caught in a cycle of misalignment that could define their season. In post-practice interviews, Daniels' tone has been measured but firm, signaling that he is not interested in softening the message for public consumption. This level of candor is rare in professional sports, where players often opt for politically safe responses, and it has only amplified the narrative that Daniels is prepared to take ownership of the situation, holding both himself and his coaches accountable. Rumors are swirling that the front office has taken notice, and while no formal action has been confirmed, sources suggest that team executives are closely monitoring the fallout. Some speculate that if the defensive unit does not respond positively in the coming weeks, Quinn could face unprecedented pressure from within the organization. The drama is compounded by the fact that Daniels' comments align with what some veteran commentators have long suggested. The Cardinals' defensive identity has been unclear, and fear-driven football rarely wins in the NFL. The quarterback's statement has effectively forced the conversation into the public sphere, leaving analysts, fans, and insiders debating whether Arizona can recalibrate mid-season or if internal friction will continue to undermine performance. The Cardinals' next few games are now being viewed not just as contests on the field, but as tests of leadership, culture, and accountability. Adding fuel to the fire, There are reports that several players have privately expressed relief at Daniels' willingness to speak out. In the NFL, unspoken frustrations can fester and erode morale, and Daniels' blunt honesty may be a turning point for the locker room. Yet, this bold move also carries risk. Challenging a coach of Quinn's stature can backfire if the team does not rally behind the message or if the subsequent results do not reflect a positive shift. The optics are tricky. Daniels is walking a tightrope between leadership and insubordination, and every game moving forward will be scrutinized for signs of tension or cohesion. Commentators are predicting that the narrative surrounding the Cardinals could dominate headlines for weeks, especially if the team's defensive woes continue. The phrase "playing with fear" has already become a rallying cry, both for critics of the current system and for those hoping Daniels can inspire a transformation from within. Ultimately, Daniels' confrontation with Dan Quinn may mark a pivotal moment in the Cardinals' franchise history. Whether it leads to a renaissance of accountability and fearless football or ignites a deeper internal conflict remains to be seen. What is clear, however, is that the quarterback has taken a bold stand, refusing to sugarcoat the reality of the team's struggles. His words, simple, direct, and unyielding, have resonated far beyond the locker room, igniting discussions about leadership, culture, and the very essence of what it means to compete at the highest level. The NFL, fans, and media are watching closely, fully aware that the next steps taken by both Daniels and Quinn could define not just the season, but the trajectory of the entire franchise. In a league where fear can cripple performance and hesitation can cost games, Jayden Daniels' declaration that "we played with fear, and that is unacceptable" may well become one of the most talked about moments of the year, a spark that forces change, demands accountability, and challenges the status quo in a way rarely seen on such a public stage. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.